Hello everyone, welcome to Achievers IAS classes. Let's begin our discussion on the current events of 25th October 2018. The first issue in news is regarding the government's decision to establish a group of ministers in order to recommend measures to effectively implement the law against sexual harassment at the workplace. The group of ministers will be headed by the Home Minister and it will come up with a comprehensive plan within 3 months of its constitution and devise ways to ensure its time-bound implementation. The group of ministers will examine the existing provisions for the safety of women and recommend further measures needed to strengthen and make them more effective. The development comes at a time when there are a growing number of accusations of sexual harassment at workplace under the hashtag #MeToo campaign on social media. We'll further look into this issue based on the recommendations of the group of ministers. Until then, let's move on to the next issue, which is regarding the central government's decision to set up skill development institutes in partnership with private players across the country. The institutes will be set up on government land and will be called Indian Institutes of Skills, which are expected to boost the global competitiveness of key industry sectors by providing high quality skill training, applied research education, and a direct connection with the industry. The institutes will be set up at select locations based on the demand and available infrastructure and will provide opportunity to the aspiring youth across the country to have access to highly skilled training through its linkage with industry and global competitiveness across the sectors. In a similar measure, the Union Cabinet has recently approved the setting up of a high-level steering committee in order to track the progress in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. As you are aware, the SDGs are a list of 17 goals that the countries must achieve by the year 2030, and the committee would recommend measures to mainstream the SDGs into the ongoing national policies, programs, and strategic action plans to address the various developmental challenges. The next issue in news is regarding the Supreme Court's recent decision to ban the sale and registration of motor vehicles conforming to BS4 emission standards from April 1st, 2020. The court has observed that the pollution has reached an alarming and critical level and therefore there cannot be any compromise on the health of citizens, which has to take precedence over the interest of the automobile manufacturers who wanted to stretch the timeline. The birth emission norms or the standards instituted by the government to regulate the output of air pollutants from the motor vehicles, and as you are aware, the government had announced that it will skip the BS5 norms and adopt the BS6 norms from the current BS4 norms by the year 2020. The next issue in news is regarding the decision of the government to set up an appellate tribunal and an adjudicating authority for the speedy disposal of Benami transaction cases. Earlier this month, the government had notified several session courts to act as special courts for the trial of offences under the Benami transaction law, and the current step to set up the adjudicating authority and the appellate tribunal will further augment the capacities to deal with such cases. The final issue in news today is an editorial regarding the immigration policies of the United States, particularly under the current administration. The US administration under the previous president, Mr. Barack Obama, had taken a hard line on the deportation of undocumented workers, but the current administration under President Donald Trump has already taken a much more radical stance on immigration into the US. This could be seen in his radical campaign promise to ban Muslims from entering the US and also in his decision to separate undocumented child migrants from their families once he took over the president's office. Of late, the issue of more than 7,000 migrants from Central America through Mexico is in focus and has given rise to a political debate given the impending US midterm elections. In reality, most of these migrants from Central America are either economic migrants seeking to escape poverty or fleeing persecution, trafficking, or gang violence in the region. Even though it is a fact that America will always remain a nation of immigrants, the rise of far right groups, which are associated with racism and Islamophobia, will in fact fuel the anti immigrant rhetoric, particularly due to the impending US elections. On that note, I'm wrapping up today's news analysis. Do like, share, and comment to support this initiative. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.